like everything's up and running. I needed that break. It has been very busy, y'all. I'm going to get the word out, then we are going to get started while the chat fires up. Welcome to Kalari's Crafting Chat. I am Kalari GXC, and we are going to do an end of year review. And just give me a moment to give the word out, and I will give a brief layout of what we're going to go over today. So there we go on Spoutable, and there we go on Blue Sky. And we'll just do a quick double check. Oh, the ice maker is loud today, so hopefully it won't be too much of a distraction. And I know while it's snowing why we make an ice, but it's because we like to keep our ice water jug here filled. As you can see, I like to keep my grumpy bear filled. And even though Christmas is technically over, my model of choice for painting today is a Snoopy figurine that we 3D printed. We have a couple of these now. We just got to get the supports off of them. And as you can see with the supports, and sorry for the feedback, I was just making sure we were live and that people could hear me. And we have quite a few prints that we are going to be painting. Like I said, even though Christmas is over, Greg's birthday is right around the corner. So I have some surprises for him later. And then I made myself this. I am going to be freeing and painting for myself because I love Lucy's little stand. She's got her little money can, and she's just sitting there dismayed because maybe Charlie Brown or somebody else is telling her all their problems, and all she really wanted was the 5 cents. So I'm really excited. I'm still freeing up the supports around her, so it's going to be a bit, but once I get her freed, I will be painting her, and this is just a figure for myself so far. Though, I'm going to be doing more giveaways soon. And as I was saying, this is my 2025 year review. Guys, when I tell you that going over a lot of this stuff and trying to compile and edit a compilation myself was depressing, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to pretend like this year wasn't rough for a lot of us. There was a lot of ups, downs, and betweens. We had one of the longest government shutdowns in U.S. history. It affected people's finances. There were people who had to work for free if they were government. There were military members and service families who had to worry about being fed here and overseas. It was a mess, but it was all detailed in Project 2025. So it's like I said, we are going to go over, react to some of the news compilations that I could find, and then wrap it up with an in memoriam and my hopes for 2026. Because honestly, that's all I can do now is hope, protect my peace, protect the peace of others when I can. But other than that, all I can do is hope. So we are going to get started, start painting, and then watch and just give my opinion on this year because it has really been a hell of a year of what the actual fuck, if you don't mind my language. But we're gonna get this fired up. The holidays were really nice. I hope you had a great holiday. I know there's gifts still coming in from Guildies because we all kind of got behind with sending this stuff out. My Guildies, I sent out a bunch of stuff to you guys. Hopefully it'll get there by this weekend. I will be better next year. I got so behind painting and crafting and printing and getting the prints just right. So I am just, hey Red Berry, good to see you. I'm glad you made it. And like I said, I did a YouTube giveaway. I'm going to try to get it together, get some prints together to do a Twitch giveaway as well. I don't want anybody feeling left out, whether you follow me on different social medias, whether you watch me on here. The goal is to make hand printed and painted crafts to give away just to show appreciation. So please look forward to that. But without further ado, we're going to get started painting. We're going to get this 2025 recap started off with the AP's rundown of the year of 2025. Because, like I said, just pulling all of these myself was depressing because it was a rough year for us here in America. I'm not going to speak for everybody else. I know a lot of people think we're the center of the universe, but I live here in America and I've felt firsthand how crazy it's been this year. So let's get this fired up and let's get painting started.
Three Israeli hostages have come home after over 470 days of captivity.
It's been crazy.
9 million more than anybody else had ever gotten. And they said we lost.
You did lose in 2020. And the fact that you can't even accept that you're finally standing there again and you still got to act like a man-child about a loss that was handed to you by 20 million more of us Americans who were sick of your shit from 2016 to 2021 just says what we were in store for come January of this year. He couldn't let it go, and now, like a toddler, he has been tantruming all over our country.
Because of that, I said to Melania, what do you think? And she said, you want to do this again?
She did not. Don't lie. Melania does not want to be in the White House anymore, you liar. She is so sick of it. Welcome, SD Clinton. I really hope that you have a joyous Kwanzaa as well. Thank you so much for all the years of support you've given and for stopping by. Like I said, this year has been so hectic and crazy and just anger-inducing. But I have been in protect my peace mode. I wish that for you and your family and yours, and you too, Red Baron. Just tragedies back and forth is crazy. Wow.
The Vatican says that at 7:35 this morning, Pope Francis died.
And that was crazy to me. 2025 was such a whirlwind that you forget some of these big events like the earthquake in Thailand, like the wildfires, like the hostage situation that, men like Trump inserted themselves in with the Gaza situation, but did nothing to truly help. And then you had the death of the Pope, which was insane to me. And now we have a new Pope, Leo, from Chicago, who is probably, to me, one of the more open-minded popes I've seen in a lifetime. And I have lived through, I believe, 4 popes now, because John Paul II was a pope when I was born and throughout most of my childhood. Then we had that angry-looking pope. And we had the guy that just passed, and I don't want to get his name mixed up, but he was kind of an okay pope. He started to really open his eyes to how the Catholic Church was stunted. And then he passed, and now we have Pope Leo, who minces no words. And I love that he's from Chicago. I might not be Catholic, but I got Catholic family members. And when I say having a Pope that takes no nonsense is just amazing right now. More of this stupid with his tariffs. Well, let me get the art reference up for this too. Dude. So much destruction. Good Lord. I can't say what I want to say. Baseless pays my paychecks.
Some of the worst damage to come from the floods that ripped through this area on July 4th.
This is Panom Dongrat Hospital in Thailand's Surin province. It was hit yesterday by Cambodian artillery shelling.
Wow. Demolishing our White House for a fucking ballroom. Now, I need to remind you, even though I did a crafted chat when this stuff first started going down, that the East Wing not only held stuff for the First Lady, their offices, which once again goes to show you how much Melania cared about really stepping back into the White House, But there was stuff for visitors and everything else, just showing how unwelcoming this administration has been to the people who this White House belongs to.
So, Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, turn the volume up.
And I get it. He's the new golden child of the Democratic Party for now. And I say for now because, like every other wannabe, up and coming cult of personality within our party, there has to be a give and take. So many people want to crown and anoint Mamandi for winning a Democratic city with a margin that didn't even come close to Abigail Spanner, the young lady who won in New Jersey, several other Democrats who won that night as well in key states, which are going to be able to make key factor-in decisions for our party. I don't want to take from Zohar Mamandi, even though you know how I feel about progressives and their nonsense about free this, free that. He's got a lot to prove. He's got a lot on his shoulders being the mayor of New York. He's following a very failed administration like Eric Adams. So all eyes are going to be on him. And I hope that he is not just a stunter for power. That's all I'm going to say about Zohan for now because I don't know him well enough. I don't live in my hometown anymore. So I only get bits and pieces from the people that live there. And it's a mixed bag. It was like a lot of us there had to hold our nose to vote him in as mayor in New York. And I really hope he does a good job. I'm going to leave it at that for now with him. Brush is a bit too big, and I already got stuff on Woodstock that I didn't want. Luckily, we have color correct white for such issues. And we're going to dab over, because if we try to spread it, it'll turn pink. And that was the year 2025 according to the AP, but they are not the only ones that recap this year of craziness. We have this one from a Fox affiliate that wanted to show their version of what went down in 2025 as well. So we're going to get this up and running, and like I said, it's been a year, y'all. It's been a year. This is from Washington Post, of all things. Daddy arrived, he's taking his belt off. He is the president. He's nobody's dad but this troglodyte and the other one. The brothers Grimm. I do not like the way they were anointing Trump as people's daddy, too. This is so ridiculous, but par for the fucking course and what's wrong with American politics right now. Because this shit show did not have to be, but people wanted a circus instead of functioning government.
I'm a good boy. I am a good boy.
They don't need to have $30. I can have 3. They don't need to have 250 pencils.
You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
Right, $5 million.
What the heck, man?
I hereby give myself $1 billion. I could be a stupid person and say, oh no.
You are a stupid person, and you shouldn't have taken that plane from Qatar because it goes against ethics. There's emoluments clauses about stuff like that. But, you know, who cares about rule of law anymore? We are literally in a phase where the president just does whatever he wants and people just have to accept it. It's insanity, but it's fresh hell for all of us.
No, we don't want a free plane. A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator.
What?
I don't like a dictator. You better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
And you can't threaten states like that, but yet he did. This is, like I said, it's the highlights of the wildest moments, but it should just say the highlights of the most idiotic, insensitive, and insane moments of American politics 2025, thanks to the clown that currently inhabits our White House.
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Have you said thank you once?
It's somewhat voluntary, but it's also if you don't answer, I guess you get fired.
Do you think he violated
Wow.
the law?
Well, technically, yeah, but he has the authority to do it.
If you're competent, It's easy. If you're incompetent, it's impossible. But I'm very competent.
No, you're not.
Will be incorrect. Nobody.
Elon Musk should have been let anywhere near our government, and he's still fucking up. And oh, how can somebody who's worth trillion fuck up 10? Because everything he touches, to me especially, turns to shit. And while he might be the richest man, he is the poorest character of 2025 as far as I'm concerned. I cannot stand that man. Not just for fucking ruining Twitter, but just for being a basic piece of shit.
Was texting war plans. Either he was.
Yes, Signalgate. Don't forget about that. You were texting war plans.
Somebody else's contact, and then somehow it's
Someone
sucked in.
sent. I always say you have to learn from every experience.
People are sort of looking around thinking,
Bullshit.
well, maybe I could get a chicken in my backyard.
Steak and Shake has been great for RFK, the French fries.
You can't get a glass of water in your office? No, they have to pay for it. They have to join the water club.
Why are you protecting
Oh my god.
pedophiles?
That is maybe the most offensive thing you could say to me.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Look, he's not like a friend of mine. He's somebody that I know.
Yeah, okay.
Not, but I would love to see.
Here's a letter
It's
from
really, really wild.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. Is that a good signature? Seriously, is that a good signature? Columbus Day, we're back in town. And see this pen?
Wow.
This is the Middle East.
You realize as somebody who has indigenous heritage, the fact that this man does this to keep the divide going. Nobody said that Columbus Day was gone. It's just that some of us would rather not celebrate something that caused the slaughter of our ancestors. And I know some people go, well, you do Thanksgiving. That's just a day of feasting for us because, need I remind you, I'm also African American. So, yeah. It doesn't mean other people can't celebrate Columbus Day. It just means some of us choose not to make that day more important to us than it needs to be because it really is just another day for us. But of course, you've got this little white nationalist infecting our White House, and we're not supposed to say anything about that. Fuck this nonsense.
Here was to Japan. Here's the story. The windmills are driving the whales crazy.
What?
Is that the word skedaddle? Skedaddle. Stealth technology. It's virtually unseeable. You have draw.
That's why it's called
And then you have
stealth.
draw. Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
Ah! My husband keeps doing that to me because he knows it ticks me off. That line right there, and I can't even say it because my brain won't let me mix up words like that. This is the man that some people wanted to put in the White House. This is the man that you think can lead the free world, who can't even string a coherent sentence together. I gotta get through this.
I haven't learned this language yet. What did he say?
Oh my god.
The answer is yes. I don't know them, but I love them. It's a record that won't be beaten by practically, I would say, by anybody. I have no idea what they analyze.
Delusional.
Whatever they analyze, they analyze it well. Grabbed like you grab a beautiful little baby. You grab your baby.
You don't grab babies.
Yippee! I'm sending them a $10,000
Where's that money coming from?
Bullshit.
I don't know. I'll get it from someplace.
Oh my god.
It's now 3.1. I'm not aware of that. Yeah, it just came out. This is not Home Depot. I've always said,
It just came out. He makes up shit. Even his staff have to try to keep up with his make-believe.
Darling, that's progress. They will never give me a Nobel Peace Prize.
No, because you don't deserve one. And FIFA sucks.
Bad teleprompter. Be cool when you walk down. Don't pop down the stairs. Since politics, I never mentioned looks. Woman with the wild hair. I guess we could say a trophy one. The fat shots. Completely
Wow.
Fat generals and admirals.
My body is a limit.
And that risking our national security by calling in generals, admirals, and top brass officials so that Hertzgerf, Signalgate, Mr. I drink too much, and should not be leading our fucking nation's military. You tell me 2025 wasn't a shit show, and I'll ask you what substances were you on to miss all of this nonsense, because you had to be on them at this point. It's been fucking crazy.
Larger than his.
They think that they're hardcore. We are so much more hardcore.
He looks like he's like 4'10".
People say that
And you know I do not like AOC But when she gets out a banger of an insult, I can at least give Sister Girl props. Though I still don't like her. I still think she's a waste of a representative slot. I still think that she focuses too much on social media and not on actual legislation. I don't care. Tell your mama if you're mad at me about that. The bitch don't do her job. And that is coming from people who still have people in New York who are under her district who still say that she is probably one of the most impossible people to reach out to and get shit done. And that's literally her job as a representative. I hate you, Mike Johnson. Legit hate you.
No matter how crazy, Usha has to smile and laugh.
Poor Usha. She needs to up security, girl. I still don't trust him, especially when he's hugging on Charlie Kirk's widow.
These guys don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. We are done with that shit. No.
Fuck you too, Nancy Pelosi. I'm sorry, y'all. I used to have all the respect for her until the Judas Caucus. And I'm not letting that go simply because she is the main reason we're sitting in this mess right now. Her and the 8 other Dems who thought they could push Biden out and then hamstring VP Harris's chances. I haven't forgot about you bitches. And even though in the midterms I'm going to do my best next year to get as many people elected so that we can have a functioning Congress, so that we don't have to worry about another fucking shutdown and maybe get our healthcare back in order, I have not forgotten Nancy Pelosi and the 8 other pricks who did dirty shit and thought we wouldn't know. That's why your book ain't selling shit, Nancy.
Yes, a non-yellow. I'm standing for Jersey. Hey, Trump.
Wow.
Won't let you take our democracy down. Burn it down to the ground.
Yeah. You couldn't even finish that, huh, Chuck?
He's been sort of a loser, but an intelligent one.
You gotta get CNN to talk about these issues.
We're literally
Oh,
talking about
can't stand that man.
aroused.
I don't want to be here 2 hours ranting about Bernie Sanders.
I will praise Nancy Pelosi.
I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them.
He's just a
Of course. He is a vile creature. That's the only thing I can agree with you right now, Nancy.
I don't think there's anything gonna get me in there. Turn the volume up.
You want to
Enough.
Mr. Chairman, I am
Not a secret Nazi. Why don't you wear a suit?
Oh, that planter guy. Oh, God. Fucking Elon Musk. Another reason why I don't like this motherfucker. That symbol right there. But people try to act brand new. Oh, no. You know what that salute is. And you also know that anybody who wears a Tontikov skull on their body is representing a certain faction that we beat in World War II, and that should have died after World War II. But we have certain people who still think it's cool to reflect that nonsense. Yes, you did. Longest government shutdown ever. Worst Speaker of the House ever.
I don't want to keep
Worst president ever.
It's going to be great television, I will say that.
Oh, man. This was so crazy. And we still got about a week to go. A little less than a week to go for the end of 2025. And it has been a doozy. It has been a doozy. It has been crazy. It has been a year of unexpected. And when it comes to unexpected, we have to do a year in the memoriam. But we have one more. This is a quick one from another news affiliate. Their take on 2025, just so that you can see why it was so depressing to look all of this up. It was really hard because this year was harder than it should have been. Harder than it needed to be. So we're going to get this one fired up too while I continue to paint Snoopy and try to keep my mood up.
Began with back-to-back tragedies. New Year celebrations turned deadly in New Orleans.
It's crazy.
Terror attack shutting down the city's famed Bourbon Street. Just days later,
We drove up and I just kept saying, my home, my home.
deadly and destructive fires tear across Los Angeles, destroying thousands of homes.
We wanted to see for ourselves what that.
Give me just a moment, y'all. I am noticing that the audio may not be have gone through. There we go. Should be coming through then.
Which was, but it's gone. It's gone. It's a total.
I just wanted to make sure.
Outbreak in Texas. Young girls attending summer camp among the more than 130 people who lost their lives in catastrophic flooding.
Please pray for our community.
The weather disasters of 2025 should not be forgotten. And while I'm not crazy enough to blame the idiot administration for Mother Nature taking its toll, the response that FEMA got to people who needed help because this administration was maligning the people who provide aid and resources during this time will not be forgotten. We had several areas that flooded in North Carolina, all along the Appalachia, West Virginia, wrecked homes, wrecked lives. But we also had weird ass militias, especially in the Carolinas, hunting for FEMA agents because of lies the administration put forward, making their job 10 times, if not more, harder than it needed to be.
And tragedy in our nation's capital. A passenger jet colliding with a U.S. Army helicopter, the deadliest U.S. plane crash in nearly 2 decades.
Yep.
Donald John Trump do solemnly swear.
Donald Trump returned to the White House. Job and spending cuts, tariffs, and immigration enforcement and raids becoming political and social flashpoints. Court battles, protests, and marches playing out across the country.
And no
The
kings.
president claiming there was widespread crime, ordering National Guard troops to several U.S. cities, leading to clashes with protesters.
And babies being literally handcuffed.
What we're gonna feel.
Poor Zelensky. And now politicians from around the world that have to come visit us say things like, we hope Trump doesn't pull a Zelensky with us. It's insane.
Telling you because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're gonna feel.
A White House shouting match as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, President Trump, and others met about Russia's invasion into Ukraine. Months later, a red carpet welcome for Russian President Vladimir Putin
Of course.
landed on American soil. But the high-stakes summit in
It's
Alaska
ass
did not
kissing.
end with a deal to end the
Should
Russian-Ukraine war.
surprise no one.
2 years after Hamas attacked Israel, a ceasefire agreement reached. The last living...
It wasn't a ceasefire agreement. It was a temporary measure because Trump thought he would get a Nobel Peace Prize for it, which Nobel said no. We don't know you.
Israeli hostages held by Hamas released in exchange for the release of Palestinian prisoners and detainees. In October and November, we saw the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Fights over health care dividing Congress. The 43-day saga ending with a deal to reopen through January. 6 years after his death, convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein back in the spotlight. A twist and turn saga from the White House to Capitol Hill as survivors pushed for release of the so-called Epstein files.
I know everybody sees us today.
It's not
as
so-called, they
we are fighting
exist.
for the children that were abandoned and left behind in the reckoning.
The assassination of conservative political activist Charlie Kirk stunned the country.
It is an attack on all of us.
It was an attack on somebody who spread bigotry, and it shouldn't have happened. I'm not going to act like assassinations are funny. I'm not going to act like assassinations are good. But the way they tried to martyr somebody who went after Dr. Martin Luther King, who went after people of color, black people especially, against trans and LGBTQ+, and you still have people acting like he was some kind of free speech hero. He only wanted speech that agreed with his hateful ideology. It's not freedom of speech. It's freedom to commit hate speech without consequences. And sadly for him, somebody decided to take, I'm not even going to call it justice, take their vengeance into their own hands and take a life. And his trial is still ongoing. We may never truly know what really set that young man off, but what I will say is that they tried to spin his death early on as maybe an immigrant, maybe somebody of color, and no. It was a Mormon-raised white man who was raised under MAGA relatives. Just to remind you yet again that sometimes the calls come right from inside the house.
Our ideals.
Comedian Jimmy Kimmel following
Your
criticism and
ideals.
political pressure over comments related to Kirk's death taken off air. Free speech protests ensued. Before
I
Kimmel
left
eventually returned to
Disney
hosting
Plus
his
because
late
of
night
that
show
shit.
The following week.
Didn't go back.
And our nation said goodbye to political pillars. The 39th President Jimmy Carter honored. And Dick Cheney.
His death felt like the end of good presidents. And I'm not saying nothing against President Obama or President Biden, but when you measure anybody up to President Carter, who until his body couldn't anymore, built houses for the homeless, did everything he could to be a decent humanitarian, and actually won a peace prize, unlike certain man babies. It just felt like the world lost somebody truly good, and it was really heartbreaking.
President under George W. Bush also remembered. Tributes poured in across the globe after the death of Pope Francis. White smoke revealing the first Latin American pontiff would be replaced by the first American Pope, Leo XIV, a Chicago White Sox fan turned leader of the Catholic Church. A brazen heist at the world's most visited museum. Thieves robbing the Louvre of jewels estimated to be worth more than
That was great. And they did it on scooters. They literally did that shit on scooters. I remember that news story. It was crazy. Dudes robbed the Louvre on fucking scooters. I don't think they caught the motherfuckers yet. It's insane to me.
And after what was supposed to be a short mission to space stretched into more than 9 months, NASA astronauts Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore finally returned home.
I know they were happy to see terra firma.
It makes it special, not just for us, but for all, I think, our nation as a whole.
Pretty honored and humbled by the fact of when we came home, like, wow, there are a lot of people who are interested.
I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Wow. And that was a year in 2025 from another news source. But like I said, we lost a lot of people in 2025. Some through natural causes, others through incidents and just awfulness. So to wrap things up and to keep painting, we are going to go over the in memoriam so far because we still have a few days left. So the list may get bigger, sadly, of the people that touched us, the people whose art, music, sports, whatever, influenced our lives, who we lost in 2025 is heartfelt and deep. And I just want you to join me in remembering these names and these people. So we're going to get this one fired up as we continue to paint.
Many people who shaped generations worth of popular culture. From TV's most familiar faces to some of the century's most beloved musical voices. I'm Linnea Crowther from Legacy.com, where life stories live on.
And I'm Steven Siegel, Legacy's chief editor. In this video, we look back at 2025 to pay tribute to the celebrities who died, but whose memories will stay with us. Musician Peter Yarrow was best known as one-third of the folk singing trio Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Yep.
He wrote songs like Puff the Magic Dragon and advocated for human rights throughout his life. He died January 7th of bladder cancer at the age of 86.
His music touched a lot of people.
Singer Sam Moore was one half of the legendary soul duo Sam and Dave.
Man.
Their hits, including Soul Man and Hold On, I'm
I
Coming,
almost started
helped
singing
define
Hold On,
the
I'm
gritty
Coming.
sound of Memphis soul at Stax Records in the 1960s. He died January 10th of complications while recovering from surgery at the age of 89.
89 years.
Actress Leslie Charleson was best known for playing Dr. Monica Quartermain on General Hospital.
My grandma loved General Hospital.
For nearly 5 decades, she was a central figure in the long-running soap opera and one of daytime TV's most familiar faces.
Yep.
She died January 12th, following a series of falls at the age of 79.
Oh.
Filmmaker David Lynch was the visionary director of films like Blue Velvet and
He did one of the best series I ever got to watch. I was probably too young to watch Twin Peaks, but, you know, Gen X. Parents really didn't monitor what we watched. And it's like I said, David Lynch's vision and artistic style really fueled a lot of my imagination one of the reasons I wanted to write, especially sci-fi with like visual stuff like the BHM, is because of David Lynch's surreal style. When did I get red paint on Snoopy's eye? I'm gonna have to correct that too. Good God.
The groundbreaking TV series Twin Peaks. His strange, moody work was popular for decades and influenced generations of filmmakers
and writers.
He died January 15th of emphysema at the age of 78.
Wow.
Actress Dame Joan Plowright was a renowned stage and film performer and the widow of actor Laurence Olivier. From London's West End to Broadway to Hollywood, her award-winning career stretched across 6 decades. She died January 16th at the age of 95.
Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit
Bob
outside.
Eubank.
The corner and missed.
Broadcast.
Not only was he a broadcaster, but he was in one of my favorite 80s sitcoms, Mr. Belvedere. So much that we have D&D and it's played online, and our group has things called hirelings. And we have this one satyr hireling that I call Mr. Belvedere because he's like a little bard butler for my character.
And entertainer Bob Euchre was the longtime radio
He's just a
voice
little
of
bit
the
older than my
Milwaukee
grandma.
Brewers. He also starred in the
Mr.
sitcom
Belvedere?
Mr. Belvedere and portrayed a baseball announcer in the movie Major League. He died January 16th of small cell lung cancer at the age of 90.
Oh.
Musician Garth Hudson was the multi-instrumental keyboardist and last surviving original member of the band.
Wow.
His brilliant organ melodies can be heard on iconic songs like Up on Cripple Creek and his showcase track, Chest Fever. He died January 21st at the age of 87.
Figure skater Dick Button was a two-time Olympic gold medalist and longtime skating commentator. He pioneered new jumps like the double axel and the triple loop and invented the flying camel spin. He died January 30th of natural causes at the age of 95.
Singer Marianne Faithfull was a British musical icon and muse to the Rolling Stones. From her early days as a folk singer to her final album of poetry set to music, her life was one of resilience and reinvention.
Yes.
She died January 30th at the age of 78.
Wow.
Actor Gene Hackman was an Oscar-winning film star.
Him and his wife's death was sad.
And grounded performances. He was one of Hollywood's most versatile actors, giving memorable turns in The French Connection, Unforgiven, and The Royal Tenenbaums. He died around February 18th of heart disease at the age of 95.
Singer Roberta Flack was a multiple Grammy-winning vocalist best known for her massive hit, Killing Me Softly with His Song. She was a classically trained singer and pianist who elegantly blended genres from soul to jazz to rock across countless records.
Yes.
She died February 24th of cardiac arrest at the age of 88.
Actress Michelle Trachtenberg was known for her roles as Dawn Summers on
She
Buffy
was
the
too
Vampire
young.
Slayer and Georgina Sparks on Gossip Girl. She began acting as a child, appearing in the TV series The Adventures of Pete and Pete and starring in Harriet the Spy. She died February 26th of complications from diabetes at the age of 39.
And this is why taking your health seriously matters. And diabetes is not about size. I know a lot of people assume that. And yes, type 2 diabetes can be brought on from bad diet. But there are a lot of people at different weights that struggle with diabetes. And like my dad, he was a vegetarian. He was still kind of a big man, but he was almost 6'4". My thing is, he didn't get the help he needed before he passed. And if you don't take care of it, diabetes can and will kill you. You have to take your health seriously.
Musician David Johansen was the frontman of the New York Dolls, who helped launch the punk and glam rock movements of the 1970s.
Yep.
In the 80s, he reinvented himself with a new musical identity, Buster Poindexter,
Yes,
and branched into film and television acting.
hot.
He died February 28th of cancer at
This
the age
punches
of
me in the Gen
75.
X feels yet again.
Singer Angie Stone was an R&B powerhouse known for hits like Wish I Didn't Miss You and Brother. She was a hip-hop pioneer with her first group, The Sequence, and later became a leading singer and songwriter in the acclaimed neo-soul movement. She died March 1st in a car accident at the age of 63.
Wow.
Musician Dwayne Wiggins was a co-founder of the R&B group Tony Tony Tony,
Oh,
who had
this
the hits
hit me
Feels
hard
Good
too.
and If I Had No Loot. He helped define the sound of 1990s soul and produced music for Destiny's Child and others.
Telling you, It Feels Good was one of the things that we would work out to as kids because, you know, every 80s family was super self-conscious about things like weight and stuff. So part of the aerobics lineup that we had to do had Tony Tony's It Feels Good. And I'm telling you, it wasn't until Rick and Morty redid the song that I realized I didn't have it on my playlist, and I went and I got that song because it brings back so many fun memories, despite, you know, having it be tied directly to weight loss stuff.
He died March 7th of bladder cancer at the age of 64.
Kitty Dukakis was a political activist, author, and the wife of former Massachusetts governor and presidential candidate Michael Dukakis.
Yep.
She championed mental health awareness and wrote about her experience with addiction and alternative treatments for depression. She died March 21st of complications from dementia at the age of 88.
Boxer George Foreman was an Olympic gold medalist and two-time world heavyweight champion, winning his second title at the age of 45. He was also a Christian minister and the face of the famous George Foreman Grill.
Yep.
He died March 21st at the age of 76.
I used to have one of those.
Actor Richard Chamberlain was a television heartthrob of the 1960s, starring in Dr. Kildare.
I remember him.
He was called the King of the Miniseries for his work in Centennial, Shogun, and The Thornbirds.
He was in a lot of mini dramas.
Of complications from a stroke at the age of 90.
Wow.
A quick note for anyone out there who has a loved one mourning a loss. It can be so hard to know what kind of gift is okay to give someone who's grieving. That's why here at Legacy,
gifts.
we've
Come on now.
actor.
I didn't think you had it in you. I'm your huckleberry.
Val Kilmer.
Actor Val Kilmer was a
that one hit me
charismatic
hard
leading man
too.
of the 80s and 90s, best known for The Doors, Batman Forever, and Top Gun. His portrayal of Doc Holliday in Tombstone became a pop culture classic. He died April 1st of pneumonia at the age of 65.
Actor Jay North was the child star of the beloved
Dennis the
sitcom
Menace.
Dennis the Menace in the early 1960s. As an adult, he served in the U.S. Navy, worked as a corrections officer, and lived a quiet life with family and friends. He died April 6th of colorectal cancer at the age of 73.
Why, get checked, even if you
British
think nothing's
actress
wrong.
Jean Marsh was best known as the co-creator and star of Upstairs, Downstairs.
I used to love that
Her
series.
portrayal of Rose Buck won her an Emmy and international acclaim. She died April 13th at the age of 90.
Television presenter Wink Martindale was a beloved game show host.
I hadn't heard that name in a long time.
Classics like Tic-Tac-Toe and Gambit. He hosted nearly 24 different game shows over the course of his 7-decade career in radio and TV.
Yep.
He died April 15th of lymphoma at the age of 91.
Wow.
Pope Francis was the 266th pontiff of the Roman Catholic Church and the first from the Americas. His papacy emphasized humility, environmental stewardship, and compassion for marginalized people.
Yes.
He died April 21st of a stroke at the age of 88.
Basketball player Dick Barnett was a shooting guard nicknamed Fallback Baby for his signature jump shot. He won 2 NBA championships with the New York Knicks and also played for the Los Angeles Lakers and Syracuse Nationals in his Hall of Fame career. He died April 27th at the age of 88.
Comedian Ruth Buzzy was a breakout star of Rowan and Martin's
I
Laugh-In
loved her.
and a master of slapstick and character
Especially
comedy.
the D. Martin roast.
She delighted audiences with characters like spinster Gladys Orby, who she also played on Sesame Street.
Oh.
She died May 1st of complications from Alzheimer's disease at the age of 88.
I really wish they would find a
Singer-songwriter
cure for
Jill
that.
Sobule was best known for her 1995 hit I Kissed a Girl and her witty folk pop storytelling.
Wow.
Her songs tackled history, gender, and everyday humanity with sincerity and a twinkle in her eye. She died May 1st in a house fire at the age of 66.
Oh.
Actor Joe Don Baker was a rugged screen presence known for the 1970s movies Walking Tall and Mitchell. He also brought grit and humor to both heroic and villainous roles in the James Bond films.
Nice.
He died May 7th at the age of 89.
I remember him. He was in a lot
Justice
of stuff.
David Souter served on the U.S. Supreme Court from 1990 to 2009. A moderate and independent thinker, he was known for his meticulous reasoning and integrity. He died May 8th at the age of 85.
How's dinner, buddy?
George Wendt. Oh my gosh, I cried when I heard about
Actor
this.
George Wendt
She
was
was a
best known
big
as
part of my
Norman
growing up.
Peterson, the affable guy always sitting at the bar on the hit series Cheers.
Probably another show that I was too young to be
His
watching,
comic
but you know,
timing and
Gen
warmth
X.
made him a sitcom icon and a highlight in dozens of film and television appearances.
Yep.
He died May 20th of cardiac arrest at the age of 76.
Television personality Phil Robertson was the founder of the Duck Commander hunting brand and patriarch of Duck Dynasty. His outspoken faith and humor made him a defining figure in reality television. He died May 25th at the age of 79.
Guitarist Rick Derringer was a rock musician and producer whose hits included Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo and
I
Hang
love
On
that
Sloopy
song.
with the McCoys. He also played with the Edgar Winter Group and produced albums for other artists, including Weird Al Yankovic. He died May 26th at the age of 77.
Actress Loretta Swit was beloved as Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan on MASH.
Yeah, MASH.
Her
Another show I was
performance
probably
won
too
2
young
Emmy
to be
Awards
watching.
and helped define one of TV's greatest ensemble casts. She died May 30th at the age of 87.
Musician Sly Stone was the visionary frontman of the funk and psychedelic soul band Sly and the Family Stone. Their hits, like Dance to the Music and Everyday People, reshaped American popular music. He died June 9th of COPD at the age of 82.
Musician Brian Wilson was the creative force behind the Beach Boys
And the
one
most
of pop's
sensitive
most
one.
influential composers.
Yes.
His groundbreaking work on Pet Sounds and Good Vibrations revolutionized modern recording and harmony. He died June 11th of respiratory arrest at the age of 82.
Singer Bobby Sherman was a teen idol of the late 1960s and 70s, known for hits like Julie, Do You Love Me?
I
He later
remember
became
Lisa
a paramedic
Simpson
and
mocking
provided emergency medical training
Marge
to
for
police
liking
officers and
Bobby
the public.
Sherman.
He died June 24th of kidney cancer at the age of 81.
Wow.
Journalist Bill Moyers was a broadcast pioneer whose thoughtful reporting on politics, faith, and culture spanned 5 decades.
I used to watch Bill Moyer.
His work on PBS defined a generation of public affairs television.
Yep.
He died June 26th of complications from prostate cancer at the age of 91.
Rest in peace, Bill.
Evangelist Jimmy Swaggart was a Pentecostal preacher and gospel musician who
Snake
built a
oil
global
stuff, as far as
television
I'm
ministry.
concerned, but I
His
remember the
fiery
I Have
sermons and
Sinned
gospel music reached
video.
millions of viewers for decades. He died July 1st after a cardiac event at the age of 90.
Actor Julian McMahon was an Australian-born performer who starred in the TV shows Nip Tuck and Charmed.
I didn't really watch
He also
those shows,
appeared
but
in
his
such
face is
films as
familiar.
Premonition and played Dr. Doom in 2 Fantastic Four movies.
Oof, those movies.
He died July 2nd of cancer at the age of 56.
Wow. Get checked, y'all.
Actor
No joke.
Michael Madsen was known for his tough guy performances
This
in
made me
Quentin
sad,
Tarantino's
too.
films Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill, and The Hateful Eight.
Yes.
He also brought gravel-voiced charisma to Donnie Brasco, Free Willy, and Sin City. He died July 3rd of heart failure at the age of 67.
Actress Eileen Fulton was a longtime star of the daytime soap As the World Turns, portraying Lisa Miller Grimaldi for 50 years.
Wow.
She helped define modern soap operas by playing a scheming villain who fans loved to hate. She died July 14th of heart failure at the age of 91.
Wow.
Singer Connie Francis was one of America's most successful pop vocalists of the 1950s and 60s. Her hits like Who's Sorry Now and Where the Boys Are made her an international star. She died July 16th of complications from pneumonia at the age of 87.
Now, some guys might find it hard living with 4 sisters, but I think it's made me more sensitive to the wants and needs of women.
Thought I could brace myself for that one.
Actor Malcolm Jamal Warner was best known as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, a role that made him one of TV's most recognizable sons.
Yeah.
He later starred in the sitcom Malcolm and Eddie and found success in music, directing, and dramatic television.
Yep, he was in American Horror Story for a
He died
bit.
July 20th in a drowning accident at the age of 54.
Too young.
Musician Ozzy Osbourne was the charismatic frontman of Black Sabbath
I thought
and
he
a
was gonna
defining
outlive us
figure
all.
of heavy metal.
Now it's just Keith Richards
His solo
left.
career and reality TV fame made him one of rock music's most enduring personalities. He died July 22nd of a heart attack at the age of 76.
Wrestler Hulk Hogan was a pop culture phenomenon who...
I'm gonna say this about Hulk Hogan because he was a big, huge part of my childhood. I mean, from before the WWE became the WWE, when it was the WWF, I had merchandise with his face on it. I went and bugged my mom to buy the stupid, nasty-ass ice cream bars just to get one with his figure on it. So I choose to remember the wrestler who, as a kid, made us all smile, made us all sit in front of the TV whenever the WWF was on. But he wasn't a good person. And I not want to remember the human being that he actually was over the legacy he gave to so many of us wrestling fans.
Who helped turn professional wrestling into a global entertainment industry. His imposing physique and charisma sparked Hulkamania and made him one of the most recognizable athletes in the world. He died July 24th of a heart attack at the age of 71.
Satirist Tom Lehrer was a songwriter, humorist, and mathematician whose biting song lyrics skewered politics, academia, and all of culture. Songs like Poisoning Pigeons in the Park
I remember
and
him.
National Brotherhood Week made him a cult favorite
my
of the
gosh.
1950s and 60s.
He was on a
He died
comedy
July
song
26th
compilation my
at
ex
the
used
age
to
of
play.
97.
Because he was an old man, he liked stuff like
Baseball Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg was a standout second baseman for the Chicago Cubs. A 10-time All-Star and 1984 National League MVP, he was celebrated for his skill and humility. He died July 28th after a battle with prostate cancer at the age of 65.
that. I'm telling you, he's got to get that
I
stuff
just want to
checked.
mention that while this video is looking back at the year's most famous obituaries, country singer Jeannie Seely was a longtime member of the Grand Ole Opry and a Grammy Award winner. Best known for the song Don't Touch Me, she was a trailblazer for women in country music. She died August 1st of complications from an intestinal infection at the age of 85.
Wow.
Actress Lonnie Anderson was best known as Jennifer Marlowe, the glamorous receptionist on WKRP in Cincinnati.
And Burt Reynolds' wife.
Her wit and warm smile made her one of television's most memorable sitcom stars. She died August 3rd of metastatic uterine leiomyosarcoma at the age of 79.
Oh.
Astronaut Jim Lovell was the commander of NASA's Apollo 13 mission, whose safe return to Earth after crisis on the way to the moon captured the world's attention. His courage and calm under pressure became the stuff of legend. He died August 7th at the age of 97.
Actress Danielle Spencer was beloved as Dee
Oh,
Thomas,
Dee.
the sharp-tongued younger sister on the sitcom What's Happening? She later became a veterinarian and advocate for animal welfare.
Oh.
She died August 11th of gastric cancer at the age of 60.
Actor Tristan Rogers was best known for playing Robert Scorpio on the long-running soap opera General Hospital.
So many from my grandmother's
His suave
favorites
performance
passed.
made him a daytime television favorite for decades. He died August 15th of lung cancer at the age of 79.
Wow.
Actor Terence Stamp was a distinguished British performer whose career spanned 6 decades. Known for roles in Billy Budd, The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and as General Zod in Superman 2, he brought striking intensity to every performance. He died August 17th at the age of 87.
Jockey Ron Turcotte was the Canadian Hall of Fame rider best known for riding Secretariat to the 1973 Triple Crown. His triumphs on the track made him a legend in horse racing history. He died August 22nd at the age of 84.
Fashion designer Giorgio Armani was a global icon who redefined modern style with his clean lines and understated elegance.
So many people wore his suits, especially
His
in the
empire of
80s.
clothing, accessories, and fragrances made him one of fashion's most influential figures. He died September 4th at the age of 91.
Musician Mark Volman was a founding member of The Turtles, known for their hit Happy Together. He later collaborated with Frank Zappa and sang in the duo Flo and Eddie, whose harmonies and humor left a lasting mark on pop and rock music.
I still remember getting
He died
headshots
September
in the game
5th
Happy
of a blood
Together.
disease at the
It's
age of
fun.
78.
Mel, would you like to do something for me?
Yeah, what?
Kiss my grits!
Oh my gosh.
Actress Polly Holliday was best known for her role as Flo on the sitcom Alice and its spin-off Flo. Her signature line, "Kiss my grits," became a pop culture catchphrase. She died July 24th at the age of 88.
Political activist Charlie Kirk was the founder of Turning Point
I'm
USA
gonna leave it
and a
alone. I said
prominent
my piece
conservative
earlier.
commentator.
Collectivist.
He built a youth-focused movement that influenced the national political dialogue.
Influence.
He was assassinated September 10th at the age of 31.
Actor and filmmaker Robert Redford was the Oscar-winning star of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Sting, and All the President's Men.
Yeah.
He went on to found the Sundance Institute, which transformed independent cinema in America with the influential Sundance Film Festival. He died September 16th at the age of 89.
Actress Claudia Cardinale was an Italian screen legend whose beauty and talent graced films such as 8 1/2 and Fitzcarraldo.
I remember 8 1/2.
She became an international star familiar to American audiences for The Pink Panther and Once Upon a Time in the West. She died September 23rd at the age of 87.
Religious leader Russell M. Nelson was president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He was also a pioneering heart surgeon as well as a U.S. Army veteran of the Korean War.
Oh, like my
He
grandpa.
died September 27th at the age of 101.
Wow.
Scientist Jane Goodall
This
was a
hit
groundbreaking
hard,
researcher
too.
and humanitarian who transformed our understanding of chimpanzees. Her decades of work in Tanzania reshaped wildlife conservation and global environmental ethics. She died October 1st of cardiac arrest at the age of 91.
Oh, wow.
God, Annie. Well, oh well. La-di-da, la-di-da, la-la, yeah.
Actress Diane Keaton was an Oscar winner and one of America's most distinctive film personalities. Known for Annie Hall, The Godfather trilogy, and Something's Gotta Give, she brought intelligence and unconventional charm to her roles. She died October 11th of pneumonia at the age of 79.
Musician D'Angelo was a Grammy-winning singer, songwriter,
This
and
hit hard,
instrumentalist
too. He was
whose
too
albums
young.
Brown Sugar and Voodoo helped define the neo-soul genre. His artistry bridged R&B tradition with modern innovation and inspired a generation of musicians and music lovers. He died October 14th of pancreatic cancer at the age of 51.
Musician Ace Frehley was the original lead guitarist for the rock band Kiss. Known as the Spaceman, he co-wrote classics like Shock Me and dazzled fans with his theatrical guitar playing. He died October 16th of head injuries from a fall at the age of 74.
Actress June Lockhart was beloved for her roles as a nurturing mother figure on the TV shows Lassie and Lost in Space. She also appeared on Broadway, in movies, and she voiced animated characters in a career that spanned 8 decades. She died October 23rd at the age of 100.
Wow.
Actress Prunella Scales was best known for portraying Sybil Fawlty on the classic British sitcom Fawlty Towers.
Fawlty Towers. I love
Her
that
sharp
show.
comedic timing made her a mainstay of British stage and screen.
Wait,
She died October 27th after a long battle with dementia at the age of 93.
Oh.
Former Vice President Dick Cheney was a central figure in American politics for decades.
I'm gonna leave this one
Serving
alone
under
too.
President George W.
Ain't got
Bush,
nothing nice to
he
say.
helped shape U.S. policy after the September 11th terror attacks. He died November 3rd of complications from pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease at the age of 84.
Screen parts.
Actress Diane Ladd was first nominated for an Oscar for playing sassy waitress Flo in Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore.
Yep.
She was nominated twice more for performances alongside her daughter, actress Laura Dern, in Wild at Heart and Rambling Rose. She died November 3rd of acute chronic hypoxic respiratory failure at the age of 89.
Basketball player Lenny Wilkens was a Hall of Fame point guard with all-star seasons for the St. Louis Hawks, Seattle Supersonics, and Cleveland Cavaliers. He was also a Hall of Fame coach, guiding Seattle to an NBA championship and the USA men's basketball team to Olympic gold. He died November 9th at the age of 88.
Singer and songwriter Jimmy Cliff helped popularize reggae internationally with his songs Wonderful World, Beautiful People and You Can Get It If You Really Want. He also starred in the classic Jamaican crime film The Harder They Come, which raised awareness of the island's culture to audiences around the world. He died November 24th of pneumonia following a seizure at the age of 81.
Actor Anthony
This
Geary
one
played the
teared me
romantic
up
anti-hero.
too because, like I said, probably was too young to be watching soap operas. I am so glad that you are cancer-free, S.C. Clinton. It is no joke to deal with such things. That's why I tell people all the time, get your screenings done. Do what you can to prioritize your health because nothing's promised. It really isn't. Now, when I found out about Anthony Geary the other night, I literally started to cry because one of my best memories was my grandmother let me stay home with her. I was in elementary school. I think it was like maybe third or fourth grade to watch the wedding of Luke and Laura. And it was such a profound thing for me, such a profound memory, that I actually made characters in Axiom and Terra with those names as an Easter egg. If you're Gen X, you knew who I was naming those characters after, point blank, period.
Hero Luke Spencer for decades on General Hospital. The popularity of the super couple, Luke and Laura, transcended soap opera fandom, and Geary was honored with a record 8 Daytime Emmy Awards for his performance over the years.
I'm not shocked.
He died December 14th of complications from surgery at the age of 78.
Wow.
Rob Reiner was first
This
embraced
was
by
hard,
audiences
too.
as an actor in his breakout role as Mike Meathead Stivic in the sitcom All in the Family. He went on to direct a string of now classic movies in a wide range of genres. This is Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally,
The Princess
Misery,
Bride. I just
and
did
A
a
Few Good
diorama
Men.
for a friend of that, too.
He died
I
December
mailed it out, so I
14th
got
of
to make
injuries
another one.
sustained in a stabbing at the age of 78.
Actor Gil Gerard starred as astronaut Buck Rogers in the cult classic sci-fi movie and TV series Buck Rogers in the 25th Century.
I know it's 25th.
He also
I'm
starred
thinking
in the
Dappies.
family-friendly action TV series Sidekicks. He died December 16th after fighting cancer at the age of 82.
Wow.
You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video.
Thank you so much, Legacy. And we went a bit over, but it's all right. I honestly feel like this was necessary. It was cleansing. And I just want to say that for 2025, even though it felt like a heavy year, and there are people that I personally miss that I wish were still here with us, I think that I can really honestly say that I am looking forward to 2026 just because I took the time to protect my peace, to get this darkness out of my system, and now I'm ready to fight. Not just for the country, but for the soul of society, if that makes sense to people, because it feels like our society has given up. We are just letting awfulness be the new norm. Every day it feels like another release of different awful things, people trying to cover up disgustingly dark things. But we still have a voice. We still have the ability to come together and right a lot of these wrongs. I am not going to give in to hopeless feelings. I am not going to give in to helpless feelings. I am going to take what I can by the hands and hopefully get us back to some normalcy. Whether it's pumping up people who are running for office, donations to politicians that want to take our Congress back so that we can have a House and Senate that doesn't put us in another government shutdown, and maybe starts to reverse some of the damage that 2025 has already done to so many of our norms. On personal fronts, I've started my small business of miniatures and other bigger 3D models. I will have the storefront up soon. I am looking forward to that. I wanted to do it right. And I just want to say to everybody who dealt with me taking the months off that I needed, but still are coming back, still sharing the videos, still watching the stuff that I put up on here at YouTube, thank you. Because without you, I would not have had the confidence to try to come back. And I remember exactly when Vince Sr. owned the company too, SD Clinton. Like, there's such a storied legacy for those of us who are Gen X of people who, they might not have been the best people off screen, but on screen, they were our magic. So I definitely felt like I wanted that to be Hulk Hogan's legacy in my mind and several others. Because when you get older, you realize that actors, musicians, politicians, especially sports people, they might inspire you with their actions and their abilities, but they're still human and they still fuck up. And if we don't remember them for their good, it's only going to be bad. A lot of them have done really terrible things. Not a lot of people in this list, thank goodness, but a lot of people have done terrible things. So I just want to remember them for the good that they put in, whether it's their music, their artwork, their sports achievements, their acting abilities, and not just focus on the bad. But I'm going to get ready to wrap this up. I will have Snoopy finished by the next time I come on here. I want to try to do a Saturday live on YouTube, but it really depends. We are in a 3-day winter storm warning up where I live. So I'm going to be focused on keeping the house warm, doing things to make sure me and the family stay safe. So other than that, I hope that you have a great weekend. If I don't see you before the new year, which I hope to get like one more end of the year but fun live cast done on here, because like I said, this one had me a bit in tears, especially in the in memoriam. I just want to thank you all, and hopefully we'll see you next week. I will show you the finished Snoopy, even though he's kind of almost done. I just got to get underneath Woodstock and stuff done. Thank you all for sitting in, and I will see you next week.